49ers faithful. So big time news this week is Alex Smith, the former number 1 overall pick in the 2005 draft by our San Francisco 49ers, announced he's retiring, stepping away from the game, had that epic comeback. Will be remembered fondly, certainly in terms of like an inspirational leader. Probably not on that Hall of Fame tier, probably not on the Hall of Very Great tier, but still had a memorable career nonetheless. Jose, like before we really get into this, what are your thoughts on Alex Smith? How do you feel about him as a Niners fan?
As a Niners fan, I thought obviously you kind of have to look at it as he was the number 1 overall pick of that 2005 draft. So maybe he didn't live up to what they initially thought whenever they drafted him. But if you look at what actually played out during his career, especially when he was a Niner, I mean, he could have led you to a Super Bowl. Obviously, the Super Bowl year there, he again ended up getting injured halfway through the season. But a lot of people would say that even if it was him being the starter, that team was going to get to the Super Bowl anyway. So, I mean, I have a lot of fond memories of Alex Smith wearing a Niner jersey, to where it's not, I would say him being a bust is completely wrong. I don't think he was ever a bust for being a number 1 overall pick and not being able to really deliver what he was there drafted to be there for. But overall, I just have nothing but fond memories. Obviously, it could have gone a little bit better, but for what we saw, it wasn't too bad in my opinion.
His legacy, he won't be remembered as obviously Jamarcus Russell or a Ryan Leaf type, certainly by any means, in terms of that bust term thrown on him. He's a bust in the sense of what your expectations are when you're thinking of a number 1 overall pick. You're thinking of the guy that's obviously going to take you to those Super Bowls, going to be with your franchise for decades, be remembered in your jersey, be an elite all-time type player. Unfortunately, again, Alex fell short of that, but it doesn't mean that he didn't have a good career by any respect. And he, like you said, he did almost take this team to a Super Bowl. In fact, we're going to be watching the highlights of the 2011 NFC Divisional game, Alex's best game in his career, some would say. It's kind of a tribute, kind of like remembering his fondest Niners moment. Obviously, this led into the NFC Championship game against the Giants, which we'll probably also react to at some point because we just hate ourselves and want to just do that to our already fragile psyche. But we do it for your guys' entertainment, and we would just want you to know it's all out of love, Niners faithful. It's all out of love. But
yeah, like I was mentioning, I would rather focus on the positive here, especially with the Alex Smith. So let's go ahead and focus on one of the really bright spots of his career, especially wearing a Niners jersey.
Exactly. So the NFC divisional game, we got this from a former NFL Network broadcast. So the highlights might jump around a little bit more than in our past reaction videos, but hope you guys enjoy. All right. So Harbaugh, Smith, that kind of relationship they had with the clubbing and hitting him over the head. Sure, that wasn't great for concussion protocol, but that's what Jim Harbaugh does.
It was 2011, different time.
Different times. Concussions didn't exist back then. Man, look at that coverage. That is not legal by today's standards. Whitner's all over Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
That is Jimmy Graham, right?
That is Jimmy Graham. It is.
Okay. They did throw a flag. Okay. So it makes sense. That was a flag back then, obviously.
Yeah, it's going to be a flag anytime.
Listen, Dante Whitner wasn't known for his coverage skills. That was not why we left. But he was known for that. He was known for that hit. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Dante Whitner was definitely meant for doing that.
Look at this. That's the type of stuff you don't see in the NFL right now.
I mean, that's probably a flag now.
That'd probably get him fined, like his whole year's salary. Well, there's a fumble. So obviously things didn't start off on a bright note for Alex Smith in this game, but still have a lot of game to go. All right. It's nice to see us actually sack Drew Brees for once and not see a flag thrown after it.
A couple of quarterbacks who announced their retirement this offseason.
That was a strike over the middle. Like, this isn't just a good Alex Smith game. This is a Vernon Davis game. Like, when we talk about where the tight end position is now, Vernon Davis was the architect behind the tight end movement here, I think. Like this athletic tight end movement.
Yep.
Oh, Deshaun Goldson getting in on the action.
I actually remember that interception very, very fondly. I remember being super pumping because I mean, Drew Brees had a hell of a year that season. And I was like, the guy is human, and our secondary is able to pick him off. I remember being super excited about that.
You want to know the rough part about this game, honestly? I didn't get to really watch it until after it happened. I was stuck at a high school wrestling tournament that entire day. So did not have any opportunity to see this game live. I could only watch this off of my old 2000s flip phone, like see the highlights as it kind of like updated in the high school gym. And just seeing holy shit, it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And obviously when you guys see the highlights at home, it's just like, holy crap, this is going down. Crabtree getting in on it now too. Like, you know, Smith, like he never had the huge deep ball, but like he did have like a decent arm. Like if he could get, you know, some velocity on it, yeah, he can throw some strikes.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's definitely more of an accuracy guy than he ever was a deep threat type of guy.
You know what's crazy here is we're kicking the Saints' ass in this early part of this game here. You know, we're up 14.
It was looking really good.
We got the ball back in their territory. Let's see, did we score again on this one? Smith rolling out, throws it away. Game manager. I do miss seeing Jim on the sideline sometimes, like just that aggression, you know, just even the timeouts he's angry during them. Damn, look at Whitner had a game.
Yep.
That's a pick. Oh, man, was this a challenge one? Yeah, knees down. Was nuts.
Would love to see that type of secondary player on this version of the Niners.
Yeah, just can't be that physical, right? Jason Verrett might break. I'm hoping not. Yeah. Hopefully not. But, you know, we are taking a chance there. And this is, you know, prime Jimmy Graham. He was a force too. Speaking of everything going good on the Niners side of the ball with Vernon Davis, Jimmy Graham, what he was doing too at the tight end position around that time.
This was really the beginning of what we're seeing now with the tight end position right here. This was a good example. Jimmy Graham and Vernon Davis, two very athletic guys who are almost wide receivers in a sense, but are just too big.
There's a name from the past, Marcus Colston.
Yeah.
Yeah, like look at that pinpoint accuracy by Brees. Like that's why Brees always used to kill you in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
It's like perfectly placed. No Niners defender had a chance to catch that one.
I love the Jim Harbaugh facial expressions.
Yeah, like, always. Are you fucking kidding me? Let's see. Is this Brown? I think this is Brown.
I think this is Brown, yes.
Yeah, nice pick.
Another pick on Drew Brees.
Yeah, pinpoint accuracy to our defender. Threw it in place where no other person could catch it.
Yeah. Now you're thinking, well, okay, we've picked off Drew Brees twice, and we're still only up by 3.
That's in every Niners Saints game. Why is it that these two franchises just throw on some of the best games in NFL history? Honestly, like back and forth. You look at the game from a couple of years ago too, that I'm sure at one point we'll have to like do a deep dive
into. We'll revisit that one.
Yeah. Then there was the game the year after this one, I believe. Or actually, no, it was Kaepernick was the starter where remember Ahmad Brooks sacked Drew Brees and they said it was a little high.
Yeah,
that one was frustrating. I feel like being a Niners fan is just remembering all these horrible bad calls that only Niners fans seem to remember.
Right.
Like again, I don't want to get into the NFC Championship game this year too much, but watching those highlights are rough. Positive. Staying positive. It's getting tight though. It's getting scary here though. I mean, we're only up 6 here. Well, there's Justin Smith coming through. Oof, a monster. Cowboy. Look at that guy. Need that guy on the line these days.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Bosa. Kidding me?
Aldon Smith is available.
Right? Apparently he's in trouble again. God bless. Just adding to that rap sheet. I mean, I wish the best for the guy, but he's just I mean, at this point, like another thing.
At this point, you just gotta say it's wasted talent.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Very good talent, though.
Very good talent.
I can't
remember if he flashes in this game or not. Because he wasn't a rookie in 2012, was he? No. Haven't seen much from Willis today, but, it's nice to see him running around there with that 52 regardless.
Yeah. That 53 looks kind of nice, too, on Navarro Bowman.
Mm-hmm. Getting this nostalgia binge in. It's always great. I would say this fourth quarter, though, is where everything really just took off.
Like, it's already a good game up to this point.
Yeah.
And what leads after this is just complete chaos, and I was all for it.
Yeah, you would say it was pretty much a defensive stalemate to this point, both teams under 20, and then just all of a sudden it became an offensive showcase.
Yeah.
Ooh, who was that got that one? Was that Brooks?
That was Ahmad Brooks, yeah.
Yeah, the key is he didn't take Drew Brees' neck with him.
Is it just me or are linebackers just not built like that anymore?
No, these guys are definitely what you would call thick boys.
Super, super thick, and they're not slow by any means.
This doesn't seem like this is obviously not that long ago, but it seems like the pads make him look a little bit bigger. I don't know. Look at Frank. Look at that guy. Oh, love you, Frank.
We're gonna see that next year, right? That 21 in a Niners jersey.
Oh yeah. Frank Gore Jr., right?
Frank Gore Jr.
Frank transitions the fullback. That's how we'll do it.
So right here, you're actually looking kind of decent. It's like up to this point, you've been able to stop this Drew Brees-led offense. So you think you have a really good chance.
Let's see, Sproles. That's a fancy football name right there.
Absolutely.
Aaron Sproles, Bernio. Would this be a pause? This is where did the Saints take the lead on this one?
I believe they did, yes. I think it was 24-23 at that point.
Now, I want to say there's 3 late changes, too, that took place between this point and the end of the game, too.
Right, because I think the Niners score after this, in this possession. The Saints come back and score, and then we see the heroics of Alex Smith after that, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, because this is where Alex Smith runs it in, right?
I want to say because
this possession.
Yeah, Vernon Davis was the clincher.
The very last.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the very last. And I think on this possession is where we see Alex Smith just roll out.
Hold on.
Towards the left.
We got to pause more on that Harbaugh face. Let's see here. Just again.
You got to miss that.
You got to get the absolute disgust of Jim Harbaugh in here.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Kyle Shanahan, but you're not going to get that with Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly. Now we only get to see this whenever Ohio State's up by 40. Love you, Jim.
Which is what, every year?
Love you, Jim, but you got to beat those Buckeyes at some point.
He needs one.
It's like Spider-Man and Family Guy. Everyone gets one, right?
Yeah, he needs one.
Ooh, dropped in the bucket. Look at that. Dropped in the bucket. And just the fact that Vernon's able to just beat him so quick off the line, that's what made Vernon such an elite tight end. Let's see. And big Joe Staley, this is the run.
This is the run. Look at Joe Staley.
Yeah, let's go back to stop on where Joe is on this run here. Because obviously this is reminiscing too another Niners legend. Look at this block. So he's about to blow up 42 here. Or at least take him out by the legs.
Take him out, yep.
Yeah, and then just nothing but green in front of Alex here.
And before all the injuries, and of course before the really, really bad injury, that's what Alex Smith gave you. He was a really mobile quarterback.
Yeah, and here's another highlight from it. So just to see it's interesting. So just like a quarterback sweep, they managed to design this one up perfectly here. I wonder who had the balls to make this play call, whether that was Jim. Greg Roman was the OC at that time, right?
Well, Greg Roman was calling the plays, I believe, at this point. So, it had to have been him.
Yeah, but with time running down to call a design run with your quarterback and for it to go for 35 yards.
Yep. Yeah, you wouldn't see that nowadays unless you're the Cardinals or maybe definitely Baltimore. Other than that, you're not going to have your franchise quarterback.
Oh, look at this.
Make a roll out.
They have one timeout at this point. One timeout, 2:11 on the clock, and they've made that call. That makes it that much more impressive. And again, we're just pausing on a prime Jim Harbaugh motion here. Just the ruthless aggression. All right, going for 2.
Going for 2. Yep. You have to
and
at this point.
Gore gets stuff. That's the one thing I would say, like, sometimes with the power run, just run it down their throat thing with Jim, every now and then you would just see him like run out on the goal line, I formation. It's like, really?
So,
you don't want to spread
I wonder
out?
what they're running.
Yeah, I would see that from time to time. I'd see us get stuff on the goal line. I'm like, we could be a little bit more creative here.
Well, I mean, in theory, when you have Frank Gore, that should work, right? Like that should work 10 times out of 10.
In theory, and I guess you would say we try to get too cute with it, obviously, in the Super Bowl with Colin, where you would say we could have just ran it in for the 6th. I don't know. It's always damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's all up to us here after the fact, years later, reflecting on what we could have done in certain spots.
Right. And it's a lot easier for us to go ahead and look at it, after a bunch of replays and us not being in that position, having to make the call and be like, oh, yeah, that was a bad call.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Sproles.
I do remember this was a hell of a drive by Drew Brees. Hell of a drive.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, my gosh. Place that between 3 guys. That
was a hell of a
3 guys and then missed tackles. This is the kind of shit you see every once in a while, because as fun as the Niners secondary was to watch at that time with, Golson and Hittner just laying the boomstick on some guys, they would have these blown coverages from time to time that would just make you think, like, how are you missing this guy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's done is done. It's crazy. So he even got over Willis in coverage, but Willis stuck with him too for a while.
Willis,
for a linebacker,
that's pretty for a linebacker, for your middle linebacker
to be down that far on the field on the guy.
That far, I'm probably at the time the most athletic and most versatile tight end in the league. Yeah, that was very impressive.
He just needed some safety help, and the Saints were able to convert for 2 there.
Yeah. So at this point, I was actually on the verge of like anger, tears, and I was like, you know what? There's one possession left. Maybe Alex Smith could do it.
Yeah, I mean, 44 seconds, Smith at this point in his career obviously hadn't really shown that clutch gene. I mean, hell, we didn't even know what a clutch gene for Alex was. What was the biggest game he played into that point?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but at the same time, he didn't have the opportunity to really – this is really his first opportunity to really clutch up a game for the 49ers in a big position like this, in a big spot. I mean, to be fair to him, he never really had those opportunities early on in his career, but he made the best of it once he got this one.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's that much more impressive to see how he responded in this moment, because not only is it his first opportunity, but it's potentially one of the biggest things. The Niners were a clear Super Bowl favorite at that point as well. And then Drew Brees, the guy on the other side of the field, he himself obviously is known for all these clutch drives, these comebacks. He already at this point in his career has a Super Bowl ring, and he's going for his second one. In fact, I think going into this game, I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't remember if the Saints were betting favorites. I think there was a lot of doubt on the Niners, given it was their first year under Harbaugh, because I want to say the Saints were a popular pick over the Niners that weekend.
The Saints, I mean, barely missed out on the second seed getting a first round bye that year. So I could very easily see, the Saints being, 3-point favorites in this game. Just because the Niners hadn't been in that position before. And typically in the NFL, you prefer experience over anything else, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah. So let's see here. Just a desperation heave there. Who even was that? Swain?
I don't even remember who that is. I'm surprised to actually see that guy there.
God,
there's a huge catch right here.
Yeah, crossing pattern. Huge. Vernon Davis. Let's see how
I had forgot about this play. I really have forgot about this play.
Let's see how he beat the defense on this one. I'm kind of curious. It looked like a basic crossing pattern. Yeah, see, Niners legend. That's exactly what it was. Insert name Swain here. He's about as memorable in his career as Dante Pettis. In fact, it's 18. Isn't that Dante's former number?
I think so. I know it's Peyton Manning's number.
So
maybe he's as good as Peyton Manning.
18 is not a good number for the Niners. Let's see here. Yeah, kind of looks like he
crossing pattern.
Little crossing pattern. He's faster than the defender, and then just took it to the outside.
Boy, that number 27 was just put on a blender that day. Jeez.
Good luck catching Vernon in his prime.
Yeah.
All right. Pocket held up nice, able to find the nice check down. Gore's always sure-handed. So
they're only down 3
here this time, huh?
Mm-hmm. David Akers.
Oof. I'm actually glad that we were able to get this touchdown because I remember David was struggling towards that point in his career.
He was.
They were dubbing this at this point in Niners history the catch 3.
The catch 3.
Yeah.
Which
see, I mean, I get it, but like the original.
You don't like the catch 3? Well, it meant a little bit more, the original. But I mean, this is basically the same thing. If anything, this one was a little bit more significant than the catch 2.
Well, here's the problem, though. I know the end results of both the catch 2 and the catch 3. I know, and the catch 1 resulted in a Super Bowl. The catch 2 resulted in losing in the NFC Championship game, correct, to the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, what happened?
I don't know. I actually
because they beat the Packers.
I think the Niners lost the next round in the divisional round, I believe.
Yeah, so
they did lose in the divisional round. I just don't remember to who.
That reminds me of another great game we got to react to, the Niners versus the Giants in that epic 30-point comeback in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's on our to-do list, guys. Just
that's definitely on the to-do. Yes.
But in this particular moment, so the catch 2, obviously we know the end result wasn't there. And then the next week happened. Positive vibes. Okay, let's see how Vernon got this one going here. So, they're like you said, they're like setting up for a field goal. They're not thinking.
Yeah, down by 3.
14 seconds. You maybe got 3 plays left here, best case.
Oof. Yeah, stretching it. Yeah. You got 2 good plays, 2 good looks at the end zone, or just get it closer for David Akers.
Yeah, and you have to convert. This is 3rd down too. So even if you best case get the first down, then maybe you get to 1 play if you keep it between the sidelines and you can't get out of bounds. I mean, I guess you got the timeout, but you want to save that in case you need the field goal, right?
Yeah. Looks like only a 3-man front from New Orleans, kind of surprising because I mean, on 3rd and 3, it's kind of hard to really kind of predict what the offense is going to do, especially this late in the game.
But you want to also kind of drop people back down into coverage too. Like you know that they need that they're trying to get that touchdown in before they settle for the field goal here.
Yep.
So you just want to just say, okay, at bare minimum, we can't let them score a touchdown because as good as Drew Brees is on these comeback drives, he's not coming back with 5 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Let's see what they do. It just maybe a post. What is this? Yeah.
I think it was just a simple little post, little inside post.
And he just was more physical than the defender on this one too.
Yeah.
Beat him to that ball.
Beat him to the ball. Out-muscled him at that position. And
see more discuss for Sean Payton.
Classic.
He's ready to put out a bounty on Vernon. Yeah, just runs over the guy to catch this one too.
Yep. And perfectly placed by Alex Smith too. Perfectly placed.
It's kind of like the opposite of the Malcolm Butler interception in the Super Bowl, right? Where Malcolm Butler kind of ran over. Percy Harbaugh and Tyler Lockett, one of those two. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever it was.
But yeah, Vernon Davis just kind of bodied this guy on this catch too, because he's hurt too. That's insult to injury. Yeah. You lose that epic game and you have to walk out with an injury on the last play pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh man, Vernon Davis, man.
Yeah, what a moment. Yeah, at this point I'm just going wild in my living room. I'm just going crazy.
Yeah, it's redemption for him too, because obviously Vernon at this point in his career had been pulled aside by Mike Singletary famously, kicked out of the game. If he was a player in today's game, you would say that he would be at risk of getting traded immediately, right? Or wanting out or forcing his way out after that.
He wouldn't be on the team.
Yeah, but credit to him, rebounding from that to become one of the big leaders on the Niners organization at that time. In fact, look at this insane stat line for him. 7 receptions, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. Whew.
huge.
Those some big boy
the
numbers.
Huge. Yeah, in the playoffs and the biggest moment of his career at the time as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, then you look at Smith here, Alex Smith. This is why we're doing this video here. 24 for 42, so maybe not the best completion percentage ratio there, but basically 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that's not even counting his rushing touchdown there too. So 4 touchdowns Alex accounted for on the day, 2 to Vernon, 1 to Michael Crabtree. And yeah, like this is where Alex Smith really showed that he was worth a first-round pick. Whether he was worth the number 1 overall pick, that's a debate topic that we'll hear forever in Niners history, given, of course, we know who went several picks later in the draft, But, again, guy had a great career. Not Hall of Fame worthy career, but a great career nonetheless. I'm championing the campaign for him to be on the Comeback Player of the Year trophy. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, who's on the trophy now?
I don't know. I just
exactly
at this point maybe
exactly. So yeah.
At this point, maybe just Jimmy Garoppolo, just in bubble wrap or something. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm taking shots at all our players today. I don't know why
I mean, after seeing this performance, I mean,
yeah,
I don't blame you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just
because if you look at it now, if you look at that, just that stat line alone, I guess just the tight end position would be the only one where I would feel confident that they would match that type of performance. And maybe, maybe if Raheem Mostert could have a breakout game, he could easily rush for 89 yards. But
yeah, look at this stat here though. Those 5 turnovers though, most since 2007 at that point. Tells you too, considering how high scoring this game already ended up being, it would be insane if the Niners weren't able to convert some of those turnovers that they were able to. And one of them, of course, came on that just big time hitting or blowing up a guy.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, we looked at this. We talked about a little bit about the secondary. Some of those plays that we saw just wouldn't fly in today's NFL. And it seems like it's not that long ago, but 10 years is a lot to make a lot of rule changes. And a lot of rule changes have happened since then to where the secondary just doesn't get away with those type of plays anymore.
Mm-hmm. All right, Niners faithful. Well, hope you enjoyed this reaction. I know get a little bit of nostalgia vibes out there, some good vibes. Let us know your favorite Alex Smith moment. Do you think that this was his best game ever? What did you think about Kyle Williams? Let us know in the comments below before we get to that reaction. Anyway, leave a like on this video. Of course, subscribe to our channel. I'm Juju. This is Jose. We'll see you next time.